Steve Arts here, and you're watching Ed My Shred. Here, this is a continuation of the 78 Eruption guitar. I bought a Kramer Baretta Special and turned it into a 78 Eruption. Now, these stripes that are on here are literally electrical tape. I used 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/8 inch electrical tape. I think the 1/8 inch I ordered off of Amazon. It was a pinstriping material or whatever. But you can't even tell that this thing is not painted. It came out absolutely beautiful. So I've got the video after I finished chatting here with you done in high speed so you can watch me tape it up. But so this is, on the last video, I showed you how to make this pick guard right here. Okay, so if you didn't see that, you need to go back and watch that one. I ordered a blank pick guard off of Amazon, and then I modified it to fit. I went ahead and put the original pickup that came with the Kramer Baretta Special back in here and mounted it to the wood. Okay, there's a little bit of a modification that you got to do here. You have, let me see if you can get it in here. You see that little spot right there? So what you have to do, you're going to have a hole there. And you've got to fill that hole before you can mount this. And you just get yourself a 1/2 inch dowel. I bought this at Lowe's. You know, it was 4 foot long. So I cut it a 1/2 inch tall, you know. And you can figure it out. But you're going to want it maybe 1/8 of an inch taller than the top edge of that hole. And it'll actually, you know, it's going to fit down in there. Now let me show you this quick, because I struggled with this before on how to do this. You just take your dowel like that after you cut them to your height that you want them, and then you see this one, I took a little too much off of this, but you just get yourself a chisel and a hammer and wham. Okay, flat side. Do the same thing here, flat side. Okay, so this will be a flat side then, and you just stick them together and you glue all the way around, glue the two flat sides together, and that piece will fit right in here where you can mount your pickups solid to the body. And you want to have maybe a 1/4 inch, I would say, off of the pickup. If you don't get that pickup high enough, your guitar is going to sound horrible. So how do I know that? Because when I first put this thing in here, it sounded absolutely horrible until I raised the pickup. All right. I've got a Wilkinson VSVG vintage tremolo on here. This thing dives like a Floyd Rose. It'll take it all the way down. The tremolo that came with this, I noticed it does have a curvature on here. And I did see a guy on YouTube that was diving a Kramer Baretta Special and keeping it in tune. It was like, there's people who are like, no way. This is what you do. And there's a video on the internet talking about how Eddie Van Halen set up the original 78 Eruption guitar with the standard Fender tremolo. And he loosened the two outer screws. He said a 1/4 turn, and then all the middle ones a 1/2 turn. You can adjust that or whatever. But you should be able to take this and dive this bar all the way down and touch right here. And you're going to have very, very similar results to a Floyd Rose. And it's going to bottom out here so it doesn't float. You can't be doing this twangy stuff, right? No, it's dive only. That's all that Eddie Van Halen ever did. I have 2 springs on here. Okay, this Wilkinson has a big steel block here, which is nice. I was going to change this to brass. I bought one that doesn't fit, so it's staying. I did change the volume knob to a Dunlop. I just buy yourself a nice full-size volume pod. And let me tell you this: if you buy the Eddie Van Halen one, right? These knobs here are not going to fit it, and you're going to end up with a witch hat knob like I have on here that has a set screw in the side. And so I would just get a Dunlop or something for this and just put it on here. That one's for like playing cathedral and stuff, which I can't play anyway. But you're going to have a hard time finding a knob that fits it. The last video I showed you the pickguard, how to make it. And it's got Damasio Planet Wave locking tuners on it. Now these tuners will bolt right on. Would I buy them again? Tell you the truth, no. I don't make money off any of this stuff, okay? I don't have any affiliate links down here. It'd be nice, but I don't. But I tell the truth. And so I don't know how many affiliate links I would actually give you. I like them. They hold it. The guitar stays in tune. It does not go out of tune. But when you're putting these strings on, the high E string right here, I went through 3 strings. So I wasted 2 sets of strings by the time I got this one from not snapping. Now these things, when you tighten them up, they cut your string for you. So you go through, cut, you tune it up, boom. It cuts before you tune it up. And when you're finally getting the final tune on this, I kept snapping the strings. And so I won't buy these again. I have on the Frankenstrap behind me right here, I put Fender locking tuners on there, and there's a video on that on how to put them in because they have pegs on the back. And I do like that better. If they make these without the automatic cut, I mean, I don't know because I haven't tried them. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. Just you spend a lot of money on strings. So, just tuning it up. So, let's see how this thing actually sounds. And I'm using a PV Viper VIP2. Okay? Not the X, but this is the older one. You can pick this thing up. And I'm going to do a video on this. Used for about $130. And you can play any Van Halen song you want on this thing. From the Alpha Flanger, it's got the 6534 on here too, so it's a 6505, which is a 5150. PV made it and called it the 6505. And then the 6534 is more of the 5150 stage. So you have 2 different Van Halen amplifiers on here. It is solid state. But it does sound pretty amazing. 1x12. And then, of course, I purchased this and I'm not running it. I'm not running it through this right now, but I found this in an antique shop for $100. And then I turned this into a head. And I can plug this into here. I'm going to do another video on that. And I watched all kinds of YouTube videos on how to turn your combo into a head and plug it into a 4x12 stack or whatever. And every single one of them was wrong and failed to mention. And there's videos out there where the guy's like, oh man, I had to cut the video. I screwed up, and then I got it fixed and all this other kind of stuff. I'm going to do a video on how to really do that. It took me a while to figure it out. And so I had to order some stuff to get it to go right. It's different for a tube amp and a solid state. Everybody thinks you can just put a speaker jack on there, and you can't do it. And just even a shunted speaker jack doesn't solve the problem. I'll do another video on that. Let's get back to this guitar. Okay, so I'm going to show you the dive on this, and then we're going to give it the Ed test, okay? And then I'm going to show you how I taped it up using the electrical tape. This is the 6505 on here. Just standard with the Eddie Van Halen settings right here. So watch how far this thing will actually dive. That string's dead. ESVG. I absolutely love it. Testing kill switch, and I don't think you can go wrong. It's just absolutely awesome. So I'm going to show you the dive on this. This mic is picking it up. I don't have all this equipment that everybody uses, but this thing dives all the way down. That string is dead. All right, so let's take a look at this guitar. Hey, real quick, if you're not currently subscribed, consider reaching down, pressing that subscribe button, and I'll put a link down there also for my Ed My Shred channel, my guitar channel. There's also a link down there to my website, pastorcw.com. If you want to know the truth about God, read the book, The Truth About You and God. If you want to know when the world's going to end, read the book, Time is Running Out. Both of them are free. Everything on that website is free. Download it, print it, copy it, read it, share it. I don't care. All right. God bless you. And here we go with the rest of the video.